You reorganized your notes, fixed your desk, and opened 6 tabs so you'd be ready to do it right. Your calendar had 90 minutes. Now it has 12. The task rolls to tomorrow again. That's the 3rd time this week. Open your to-do list. There's one task that matters more than the others. Scroll back. Monday, it was there. Tuesday, it copied forward. Wednesday, same line, new date. The small tasks around it have check marks. The emails got answered. That one line just migrated. Now look at what got finished. Quick replies, calendar confirmations, low-effort items that didn't need preparation. Those started without conditions. They didn't need the right headspace. They didn't need 6 tabs. The task that keeps rolling is different, not because it's harder to do, because it's harder to do badly. There's something about it: visibility, stakes, someone waiting, that makes a rough first pass feel like a statement about who you are. So you stay in the Notes app, count the bullets, now open the draft, check the last edit date. The plan has been revised. The draft hasn't been touched. That gap is not a productivity issue. That's protection. As long as you're still organizing, still reading, still refining the plan, nothing exists that can be evaluated. No one sees a messy paragraph. No rough outline sits in the shared folder. The standard stays intact because the standard was never tested. Here's what the sequence actually looks like. A task shows up that requires visible output. The first move isn't to start. The first move is to check whether conditions are right. Browser opens. Research tabs multiply. Notes get reread. The desk gets adjusted. Focus mode gets toggled on. Every one of those actions feels like work. Every one of them pushes the actual start further out. The setup expands to fill the time that was supposed to hold the work. And notice the measurement. After 45 minutes of prep, there's a feeling of effort. You read 3 articles. You reorganized the outline. But open the file manager. Sort by date modified. The deliverable doesn't exist. There is no saved draft. There is nothing you could send, share, or build on tomorrow. The warm-up happened. The set never did. Highlighting is not drafting. Reorganizing bullets is not producing a paragraph. The runway extended, but there was no takeoff. Look at the calendar again. Not just today. Look at this afternoon. There's a meeting at 2, another at 3:30. Between them, maybe a 40-minute gap. By 4, energy drops. By 5, the window is gone. Those gaps don't wait. They fill from both sides, tasks running long, meetings starting early, messages pulling attention. The 90 minutes you had this morning is now 12. Tomorrow, it might be 8. The day hardens while you're still setting up. The target is wrong. It was never get into flow. It was never find the right headspace. Look at the empty document, then look at the calendar block that's about to take the next hour. There is a meeting on the other side of that block. The question is not whether you feel ready. The question is whether something visible exists before that block starts. Watch this. Timer starts. 12 minutes on the phone screen. The calendar hard stop is right there. It's real. It's not negotiable. At the top of the blank document, 7 words get typed. Not good words, just a target. Draft the opening paragraph of the proposal. Now 10 lines go in. They're rough. Some of them don't finish a thought. One sentence contradicts the one above it. It doesn't matter. The lines exist. Save. Close. Open the recent files. There it is. A saved artifact with today's date. It took less time than the setup did this morning. And it's the only thing from today that survives into tomorrow. Pull the calendar out to the week. Look at the open windows left. They're getting smaller. Tuesday's gap was 40 minutes. Thursday's is 15. By Friday, there's nothing between meetings. Now split the screen. On one side, all the open tabs, the notes, the reorganized bullets. On the other side, the saved rough draft with a timestamp. One side feels like progress. One side is progress. Next week, only one of those sides still exists as something you can use. That pattern where the setup replaces the output and the preparation protects you from the draft has a name: flow trapping. Not because flow is bad, because the requirement of flow before starting is what traps the task in preparation permanently. Follow the cost forward. The task rolls to Thursday. Open the email. There's a message in the thread. Just following up on this, any update. The calendar for the rest of the week is visible. Thursday afternoon has one 30-minute gap. Friday is full. The task that needed steady work across 5 days is now compressed into a single window that's shorter than the setup routine. And the setup routine will still try to run. The notes will still get opened. The environment will still get adjusted. The timer still won't start. Except now there's no room for another postponement. So the choice narrows to two things: a late-night scramble where quality actually drops, or a missed deadline where the work doesn't ship at all. Both outcomes are the exact thing the waiting was supposed to prevent. The responsible delay produced the sloppy result. And the fix most people try doesn't touch this. They download a new focus app, they build a morning routine, they add website blockers. Open the screen time settings, look at the focus mode toggle history. It's been turned on and off 6 times this week. Open the productivity app. The checklist has 12 items on it, and the first one is review plan. The research tabs multiplied from 6 to 14. The draft has the same last modified date it had on Monday. More preparation didn't create safety. It consumed the last available window. Removing distractions became the activity that replaced the work. So the situation is this. The calendar has a hard stop. It's approaching. Open the document. Look at the last saved timestamp, days ago. Now look at the day where something got saved, the one rough draft. That day, something was produced inside a window. Every other day, the window closed with nothing in the file. Either a visible artifact gets created inside a fixed block, or the schedule decides for you. Those are the only 2 options left. Here is the move. 1. Window lock. Set a 12-minute timer. Pick the hard stop that's already on your calendar. That's your boundary. Not energy, not mood, the clock. 2. Next output. Type 1 visible deliverable in 7 words or fewer. Not, work on the project. Something specific. Write the first 3 bullet points. That sentence is the scoreboard. 3. Tiny exposure. Produce 10 ugly lines. A rough outline. 1 solved step. Save it. Close the file. Open your recents. It's there. It has today's date. This works because it replaces the question, "Am I in the right state?" with a different question. Does an artifact exist before the window closes? The day can't steal a start that already happened. I don't need flow. I need an artifact before the window closes. Do this once today. Find the next 12-minute gap on your calendar. Run the 3 steps. Save and close. The saved artifact sits beside the calendar block that would have taken the time. One of them was going to fill that window. Now you know which one did.